Now, there are two methods when you change yarn colors. Some people cut off, weave it in, tie it off, whatever their method is to end a yarn piece, and pick up a new color, say this orange, and they'll pretend this is knotted off, and they'll just start and go. Others will just loop it in here like you do a regular color change in other projects and go. I typically will slip stitch over 1, 2, oops, I'm having trouble with that slip stitch, really trouble. Alright, slip stitch over, and then pick up the yarn. And you start with your chain 3. It's easier to start in the corners. And if you're not changing colors, you can still cut it off and start over in the corners if you don't want to do the slip stitch over. That's a preference. Some people still do that. I don't particularly like weaving in ends. So the less ends I have to weave, the better. Sometimes when I do this, I'll even try to carry the colors up. Depends on the coloring. Obviously this purple and orange, carrying the colors up would not work. But I'm not going to change colors on this one. So now that I'm to my corner, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And now we're at this round that was pink here. So this is where we're going to start doing corners differently. See, in the corners, we only had our chain. Our pink round, from this one, our corners have 2 nodules in it and chain. So there's chain 3, and we're going to do 2 double crochets, because remember, each nodule has 3 segments to it. And I like to start mine in half. So I like to start it on this nodule and work my way around. Some people like to start on this nodule. It is a preference. If you start on this nodule, you will do it slightly different than I would. At this point, if you want to start this nodule, you do your chain 2, then this nodule. I'd like to start this nodule. So I am going to start on this nodule, which means I will finish in this corner right here. This is my preference. Some people don't like to do that. Some people like to start over here. It's a preference. No real wrong way to do it. So you're going to chain 1, and this is also a preference. You don't always have to chain 1 here. Some people do, some people don't. I change my mind back and forth sometimes. And then I'm going to do 3 double crochets in this corner. 1, 2, 3. Now this created the first nodule of this corner here. So now I need to do chain 2. And still into this corner space, I'm going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Now you can see the corners are forming. So I've got my 2 nodules, and you can't see the chains because they're covered by the next row. As where this one is a half corner. If you had started on the other nodule, you would have a full corner here. I like to have half corners when I start, because for me, I like how it finishes. It is a preference. Now again, you can not chain 1 or chain 1. I like to chain 1 because it gives it a little more stretch spacing to it, and it doesn't kind of pull as much. It also depends on what you're doing with your granny squares. In a big blanket, they get pulled and washed and tugged, and things shift all over, so it really doesn't matter. But you can also, especially with this size, it makes a perfect mug rug, tea cozy, or coaster, whatever. My adorable vintage coffee mug from 1976 for the bicentennial. Anyway, so I've got 2 of my double crochets. Gonna go on to my 3rd double crochet. That's only half my corner, so I gotta do 2 chains. 1, 2, and then do 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. That is, now I got 2 full corners in my half corner I started. I'm gonna do a chain here. I'm gonna go into my 3rd full corner. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, chain 2 to get that corner piece, 1, 2, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet. So now I'm coming back around to where I started.